Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Professor Tijjani Muhammad-Bande, was recently elected as the 74th President of the United Nations General Assembly by acclamation.
Declaro al excelentísimo señor Tijjani Muhammad-Bande de Nigeria elegido por aclamación presidente de la Asamblea General en su 74º periodo de sesiones.
The presidency of the 74th session had been zoned to the African continent in line with the United Nations principle of geographical rotation and also to West Africa in the same pattern. Professor Bande and his team came prepared for this assignment scheduled to commence in September this year.
The implementation of existing mandates and the 2030 agenda with particular focus on peace and security, poverty eradication, zero hunger, quality education, climate action and inclusion will constitute the major priority of my presidency.
These are issues that resonate with global challenges begging for attention. The African continent and indeed Nigeria can also leverage on this opportunity to solve most of its problems, as observed by Nigeria's Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Samson Itegboje.
When we came, we were not oblivious of the programs of Mr. President, which were three main programs: anti-corruption, economy, and security. So what did we do? I'll tell you, we have been able to rewrite a resolution at the UN here on illicit financial flows. That resolution, Nigeria is the pen holder. And what does that say? We are using the instrumentality of the UN to drive the programs of Mr. President. And just last year, we were able to rewrite another resolution on education, declaring 25th of January every year as International Year of Education. What does that say to? We are bringing the world attention to that issue. And why is it important? Because it is also important for Nigeria. Education is one issue that we are trying to get right in Nigeria. If we get it right, so many things will also fall in place. So we are also using the privilege of our mounting the saddle of the president as president of General Assembly to drive education, like I said earlier. So there's a lot in it for Nigeria. I've talked about poverty. I've talked about hunger. I've talked about climate action. We all know that there is a causal connection between climate action and terrorism that we have in Nigeria. As a result of climate change, the Lake Chad area is drying up. It has shrunk to only 10% of its original size right now. So there is a serious effort to ensure that we recharge the lake. So we are going to continually bring the world attention to this problem to see how we can garner support to ensure that we recharge the lake. So there is a lot that Nigeria can leverage on using this presidency. And I must say this very seriously, without any iota of doubt, that since Nigeria became a member of the United Nations, this is the first time that we would have the president of the AU observer of African Union to the United Nations as a Nigerian. Also, we have the Deputy Secretary General, a Nigerian, at the UN. Then we are going for the office of the President of the General Assembly. We can't have it better. We are making history in this regard. So we have done a lot here, and mounting the saddle as President of General Assembly is going to be the icing on the cake. So to have this tripod, so we will maximize the usage of this tripod to the benefit of Nigeria. That one is going to be on the card. When you drive the issues of poverty, the issues of hunger, the issues of education, and climate change, it is not only to the benefit of Nigeria, it's also to the benefit of, because these are common denominators that African countries face from time to time, which we are going to focus on.
The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres expressed hope for a positive year as he extols the virtues of Bande.
You have invaluable insights into the continent's challenges, such as the Sahel and the Lake Chad Basin, and more broadly, into the challenges our world faces across the three pillars of our work: peace, sustainable development, and human rights.
For an African presidency, naturally, we need to deal with questions of inclusion and poverty eradication. This is why we have to select all these elements, and how to achieve them is really by partnerships. Partnerships are key, even if it's having coalitions of countries that are interested in advancing a particular element of the agenda, we do that. So this is the only way to go, because we have to have everyone seeing that for their issues are also discussed. But of course we can't discuss all issues, but many issues have really global ramifications. Climate action, there is hardly any country that is not affected or cannot be affected by what we do or we do not do relating to climate action. And this is already agreed to in Paris. This is the reason why we have to have a very ambitious agenda.
Nigeria's Muhammad-Bande from Kebbi State is a seasoned scholar and administrator. He obtained his MA in Political Science from Boston University, USA in 1981 and a PhD in Political Science in 1987 from the University of Toronto, Canada. Amongst his numerous achievements, he served as the Vice President of the General Assembly during the 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly and also Chair of the United Nations Special Committee on Peacekeeping Operations C-34. Professor Tijjani Muhammad-Bande will take over the leadership of the United Nations General Assembly in September from the President of the 73rd General Assembly, Maria Espinosa. From the United Nations headquarters in New York, Joy Usiagu, NTA News.